again and again, the teacher started to make these comments to make you feel like you're not a good mother. And I don't know if it's that or it's just the judgment, but these comments honestly like really shocked me. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Polina. In today's video, I want to talk about a rather controversial topic related to living in Germany. Let's go. To give you some context, if you're new on this channel, I'm originally from Russia and I've been living in Germany now for 3.5 years. And before moving here, I was living in Spain for 6 years because my husband is Spanish. And before that as well, I was living in Finland for a couple of years. So I kind of moved around quite a bit and I tried living in different countries in Europe. However, it's really difficult for me to compare my experience of living in certain country versus another country because I was at really different stages of my life at every point of that. So for example, in Finland, I know all about like university life and just partying and things like this. But then in Spain, I was in my early 20s to mid 20s and you know, it was just like my first experience of starting to work and so on and so on. And in Germany, I became a mom and I've never been a working mom before. So it's really hard to compare. But I want to talk about this specific topic about working life as a mom in Germany because some things related to this have been rather almost gave me like another new cultural shock after 3 years of living here. So if you're living in Germany, you probably know that maternity leave in Germany lasts 1 year, which is amazing. And to me, that sounded like a lot when I first found out about it, because in Spain, maternity leave lasts only like 4.5 months and then 6 months if you also accumulate like all the holidays. So it's really short. In Germany, it's actually 14 months. So it already sounded quite a lot to me when I found out about it. So my daughter now is 2.5 years old and she went to the daycare at exactly 1 year old because that's when they start accepting children here in Bavaria. Oh yeah, another disclaimer is that everything I'm talking about is about Bavaria, about living in a small town in Bavaria, and everything I'm going to be talking about is for sure going to be different in different regions of Germany, and especially in big cities. It's not going to be relevant at all. I'm sure of it. It's a small town in Bavaria life, okay? So yeah, my daughter went to the kindergarten at 1 year old, to the Kinderkrippe as it's called here. And in the beginning, she was not full day there because I wasn't working yet. I was looking for a job and because it was a transitional period, so she was only staying for 3 to 4 hours a day. But then I started working after a few months. I started working full time and so she transitioned to stay in the Krippe full time. So we booked our Kinderkrippe for the maximum number of hours. So you pay depending on how many hours your kid will be staying there. So we booked the maximum just in case, and so the latest time for pickup would be 4:30, which I don't know about you, but again, after living in Spain, 4:30 p.m. doesn't sound so late because people in Spain work until 5 or 6 generally if they're working in the offices. So 4:30 is like, it's pretty early, and there was no option for a later time in our town, and everything was kind of fine. But I did started to notice after some time that actually my daughter, as she was even getting older, like already 2 years old, not so many kids were staying until 4:30. In fact, most of the times it was only her and one more kid who were staying until the latest 4:30. And 99% of the kids were picked up way earlier, like 2:30 or 3 p.m. And it was surprising to me that people or women, because it's mostly women, don't actually work full time, because if they're able to pick up their kid at 2:30, they don't work full time or they don't work at all. So that was kind of surprising for me to find out, but it wasn't a big deal because again, there was another child who was staying until 4:30 with her, and my daughter was not alone. But then that kid actually left our group because she was already older and she was going to the next stage. And my daughter started to be like alone after 2:30, 3 p.m. She's completely alone. She's the only kid who is staying there until 4:30. And again, the teachers, or specifically one teacher who is like the main person, like a sort of a director from our Kripe, started to make these comments about how she's alone and it's not good for her to be alone, and so on and so on. And I really didn't like that sort of comments, because I'm working full time. I'm not just putting my kid to the kindergarten so I don't have to be with her. Like, I came to Germany for work. Like, in general, that's how our society works. We all work. We have to work full time, especially in the nowadays economy. I don't know who can afford like not working or having only one person in the family working. But both me and my husband work full time. We came to Germany to work. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for work. We don't have any family here. Like, that's the only reason, it's to work. And again, I don't think that picking up the kid at 4:30 is like a horrible thing and like being a horrible parent, but this type of comments from teachers, or from this specific teacher, they were implying exactly that, because it wasn't done only once, but it was brought up multiple times to make you feel like you're not a good mother because your kid is staying there alone and she's the only one who's staying until 4:30. And now in April, I don't know, there have been like Easter holidays and the weather is nice. And to be honest, it just kind of feels like, I don't want to say it, but it does feel as well like the teachers in the kindergarten would like to go home earlier, because like they're staying only because of my daughter there, and their salary does not depend on how long my kid stays. They will still receive their full salary. And I don't know if it's that, or it's just the judgment from some specific teachers, but it just started to feel like they're really, I don't want to say pressuring, but they're putting a lot of emphasis on how my daughter is alone there and how we should pick her up earlier. And I think it started to even increase more when they found out that we work remotely and we do have flexibility, which, like, honestly, like, yes, I cannot pick up my daughter at any moment of the day because I work from home, but that does not mean that I can work with her being at home. Like, it's not possible to work from home when your kid is at home. So I don't know if it's because they don't understand what's it like to work remotely and they think that, you know, it's very, very possible, or it's simply just the judgment or the fact that they want to go home early. But these comments honestly, like, really shocked me. And the thing is, there wouldn't be any issue and there wouldn't be any comments like this if my daughter was not alone. The problem in this whole situation is that she is alone, and I understand that it's not nice for her to be alone because she's not with other kids for like 1.5 hours. But the problem is, like, why are other women here not working full time? I don't understand what's going on. Like, I had no idea before coming here that this is the case in Germany, or at least, again, here in Bavaria. It was always my idea that Germany is one of the like really hard-working cultures and so on. But again, I don't know if it's because it's Bavaria and it's like very traditional roles here. It's a religious area as well, but women specifically don't actually work if they have small children, or they work like part-time. And that was quite shocking to me. And I don't have any judgments for them to do this, but I do have a problem when they judge me for not doing the same. So yeah, that's that. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments all your thoughts. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.